Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Inside the Den podcast here on WSVC Radio, where each week we take a closer look into St. Vincent College athletics. My name is Andrew. I'm joined once again by my co-host, Colt Easterling. Colt's good to be back after a little bit of a hiatus for this show.
Yeah, I took a small break, but happy to be back.
Yeah, me too. So we got a lot to talk about this week. All of our teams have been in action over the last 2 weeks. We have not, so we got a lot to cover today. So we want to start us off with men's basketball, Colt?
Yeah, sure. So men's basketball has had 3 games since we've taken our small break. They started off their play against Washington and Jefferson. They played that game away in Washington and Jefferson. St. Vincent came out on top of that game, 93-90. So high-scoring affair. Really, really good game. Both teams top of the pack. So it was an exciting game. Mike Izzolino had himself a nice game, 21 points, 6 rebounds. Javante Jones followed right behind him with 17 points and 3 blocks. So a really good showing there for the men's basketball game, doing it on both sides of the ball.
Did you guys call? No, that you wouldn't have called that one.
No, we didn't do that one. Men's had 2 away games. They played Washington and Jefferson, then they went to Waynesburg, and they beat Waynesburg as well. So back-to-back wins there. They won 78-62, and then finally on Saturday the 15th, they went up to Allegheny and they won that game as well, 82-73. So nice 3-game stretch there for the men's basketball team as they close in on locking up a playoff spot.
Yeah, absolutely, Colt. I think, and those were done. I think you just mentioned that their pack games. What's their pack record now is 15-4.
It's up there for sure.
I don't have the exact standings at the moment, but I would imagine they're fairly comfortably in the playoffs, looking for that first round bye. On the flip side of that, the women's basketball team has struggled over the last 2 weeks. They also had 3 games. They lost all 3 of them. They lost to Washington and Jefferson on February 8th, 36-53. Waynesburg on February 12th, 50-61. And then Allegheny, 54-66. So women's team is not, I think, a little bit all around. I think they're struggling a little bit. Three solid college basketball teams. I'm going through the stats at the moment here. At least for Washington and Jefferson, they had nobody in double-digit points. Low-scoring game, though, for both teams. The highest point was Emerson Peffer with 9 points. I would imagine that Coach Petruska wants a couple of his top girls to be in double digits for the women's team.
100%. I mean, can't expect to win when against these bigger teams, only scoring that little points.
Yeah, they are still 11-5 in the pack though, so
that's good.
I'm pulling up their standings right now. They're very comfortably should be in the playoffs though. They have a couple. They have 2 more pack games before the season wraps up. They play Bethany tomorrow, and then Grove City this weekend. Both pack games. I think both winnable games.
For sure.
For the women's team.
The Grove City one's probably going to be pretty close. If I had to imagine, that's going to be Saturday home game on Saturday in the Carey Center. So come out support, and I think the girls are sitting around that fifth or 4th seed, somewhere in there. So I don't think they have a chance to get a playoff bye, but definitely looking to lock up a playoff spot and hopefully win at least one of their playoff games.
Sometimes, you just got to get in.
That's all it takes sometimes. That's
really,
that's what happened when they won the tournament, I guess, our freshman year, so 2023?
2022 season, I guess. But.
That's exactly what happened in that season. They came in as a lower seed and knocked off some really good teams that year, and were able to bring home the championship. So
they are sitting
something similar.
They're sitting in 5th right now. Grove City is actually ahead of them.
Okay.
But if they win their next 2 games and Grove City would lose, they would be able to take them over for the 4th spot. So we'll see. Hopefully that happens, and they can go to the tournament and go on a bit of a run.
Yeah. So there's a chance that they play Grove City back-to-back games. So that could be something to look out for as well.
Yeah, exactly. You're always curious. The teams will have known. They'll know each other very well by then. And if that has any effect on any playoff games.
Definitely. You can move over to the next sport now if you'd like.
All right, so we'll go to men's volleyball now, which have had a couple different matches since we last spoke. On February 11th, they played Mount Aloysius and swept out that match 3-0. The first set was 25-13. The next one was 25-21, and then 25-23. So pretty dominant performance there by the Bearcats. I'm looking through the box score at the moment. Sean McSwiggan, who we actually should mention, just won the PAC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yes, sir.
Had 11 kills and a block in that match, and that put them at 4-0. They are now,
4-3, I think.
Yes, yeah,
at
4-3.
the time.
Yeah, at the time, yeah. And then they went on to play Grove City.
Yeah.
They lost that match 2-3, so a very competitive match for them. It was 25-10 in the first set, 23-25 in the second set, 23-25 again in the third set, 25-16 in the fourth, and 10-15 in the fifth. So definitely a very competitive match. Sucks to lose when you have to play that fifth
right.
set. You want to win that one. Sean McSwiggan again, 21 kills and 2 blocks. In that match, so definitely deserving of the PAC Offensive Player of the Week. And they were supposed to play Penn State Altoona this weekend, but that was canceled. I would imagine due to the poor weather we had this weekend out here. But,
more than likely.
I'm not sure when that game is supposed to, or that match is supposed to be made up. They will next face Geneva this Thursday in the Carey Center for a PAC matchup. The Grove City was their first PAC matchup of this season.
Yes, it was.
So they're only 0-1 right now.
Yeah.
Easily able to dig themselves out of that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in that Grove City match too, you could argue that St. Vincent honestly played better. Just looking at the different sets that took place, St. Vincent won by 15 in the first set. They only lost by 1 in the second set. They lost by 1 in the third set, or they lost by 2 in the third set, and then they won by 9 in the fourth set. So I mean, just unfortunate scoring there for the Bearcats. But once they play home in the Carey Center, I can imagine a different result.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
I would imagine that, and every athlete we've had on who plays in the Carey Center has talked about the atmosphere it brings there. I would imagine it's no different for these volleyball matches for these guys.
Yeah, and St. Vincent, they led that match in points with 66. They led in kills, assists, and digs. So 4 of the 6 main offensive categories, St. Vincent led in. So just
Grove City had the right points at the right time, I think, to win that one. That's just very unfortunate.
Just didn't go their way that day, but that's quite all right.
All right, Colt, do you want to move on to women's bowling now, who has had a very successful season?
Yes, they have. We can start with their where are we starting from? The tournament they had this weekend?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so we talked about everything up until the Wildcat D2, D3 Invitational that they participated in this weekend in Delaware.
Okay, so they went down, or I guess over to Delaware, took a long road trip over to Wilmington, a little bit closer to my house, so I'm a little more familiar with that area. But they came out on top of that tournament. I was talking to Sabine the other day about the tournament. They actually only finished 6-6 in their head-to-head matches, but it was a total pins tournament. So just because they lost the match doesn't mean that they're going to lose the tournament, which is great. And they came out on top. They finished first out of 13 teams. So I think there were only one of 2 or 3 Division III teams there, and they came out on top regardless. I also heard, Sabine told me, that someone bowled a 300, not on our team, but someone there did bowl a 300,
it's impressive.
Which is very awesome.
Tells you the kind of competition they're
Yeah, literally.
Playing.
I mean,
they're playing
just because you're not D1 doesn't mean you can't score with the best of the best. I mean,
absolutely,
it's a 300. That's you don't see that every day.
It's literally, you can literally do no better in bowling.
Yes,
than bowling
exactly.
a 300. Whoever bowled that game literally had a perfect game.
Yeah.
And I see St. Vincent averaged a 194.7 for the weekend. Very, very impressive average pins for St. Vincent.
Yeah.
They, I believe, have a little bit of time off. They don't play again until Intercollegiate Team Championships when we come back from spring break at the beginning of March, and then after that they have the AMCC Championship tournament. So they got a little bit of a break here. Hopefully these ladies can keep it rolling, because they've arguably had the most successful season of any St. Vincent College sport at 46 and 17 overall.
100% agree.
And 13-1 in their conference. Good for a 929 clip in
that's
the win
awesome.
column. That's really, really good.
And Abby Justice, junior here at St. Vincent, brought home the AMCC Bowler of the Week award. She finished with an average of 204.8 and an 48 strike percentage. So really, really good stuff there from her. I feel like every week we're getting a Bowler of the Week award. So just goes to show how good these ladies are
Program's
performing.
Incredibly strong here.
Yep.
Final sport for the week is wrestling. They finished as runner-ups in the PAC championship, so once again a very competitive season. We actually had a couple Bearcats that did win their individual categories. Sean Kane won the 125-pound weight class for the second consecutive year. Chase Brandon Bura, if I'm saying that name wrong, I apologize, Chase, won his second consecutive PAC championship at the 165 weight class. So a couple strong individual performances and good performances overall for the team, Cole.
Yeah. This tournament isn't really similar to much of what our normal head-to-head tournaments are like. It's a bracketed tournament, so you're wrestling multiple guys in one day, which I can only assume takes quite the toll on these guys. But it's a little bit out of their comfort zone. Not out of their comfort zone, but it's a little bit different than what they're used to playing.
Yeah, I think so. Like you said, the physical toll that it takes on these guys. Like, imagine as a basketball player playing 2 or 3 games a day, or baseball or softball playing 2 or 3 games a day. Like, if anybody who plays in travel leagues in high school and stuff knows, this is a very physically demanding way to play. They now have off for just over a week until the NCAA regional championships, where a couple of our athletes who won their individual weight classes will go down to Virginia starting on February 28th to go down and compete for the regional championships. We wish those guys the best of luck. If these guys, especially Chase, have won 2 years in a row, he's probably pretty poised to make a run at the regional.
I'm sure they're all very excited. Washington and Jefferson was the college that came out on top with a total of 116 points. St. Vincent finished in second. No small feat for sure. They finished just under 100 points with 99, and in third place was Teal College with 55. So good showing for the guys. Probably not the one they were looking for, but still an impressive performance nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we took a couple of weeks off, but for the most part, pretty successful few weeks for St. Vincent, and men's and women's swimming is gearing up for their championship meet tomorrow. I believe that's supposed to be
correct.
Starting. I think both the teams are poised to, do fairly well in this tournament. Colt.
100%. I know they're ready.
Yeah. They've both teams started off a little bit slow, but have they've definitely hit their stride over the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
If my computer would load, I'd be able to look at the exact schedule for when they're supposed to start. It's tomorrow, right?
Yeah, Wednesday the 19th, and it's actually a 4-day event. So they go 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd for the men's and women's swimming teams. And then there's a couple other events happening. We have men's and women's basketball competing here in the Cary Center on Wednesday. Both teams are going to play against Bethany College. And then we also have another volleyball game. That's a home game. Men's volleyball is going to play against Geneva on Thursday. I think you said that already. So come out for that. And then we also have a tennis match and a lacrosse event occurring this weekend. So men's lacrosse is playing Worcester College home at 1 o'clock.
Is their season officially started now, or is
yes.
this a scrimmage? Okay,
yes,
wow.
This is this is part of their official schedule. That's not a PAC matchup, but one of their out-of-conference matchups that they're going to be having early in the season. And then men's tennis is playing on Friday night at 6 p.m. against Mount Aloysius, and I think that's occurring away. So,
gotcha.
Yeah. So,
and I think we both get yelled at by our station manager if we didn't mention that the athletics department is holding a fish fry in the middle of March. I believe that's supposed to coincide with watching March Madness down in the Fred Rogers Center. So this is, I guess, for St. Vincent students, not necessarily the general public, if any St. Vincent students looking to go, you can sign up on the athletics department website. Yeah. And
100%. We got some. We don't quite have the playoff schedule for the men's and women's basketball quite yet, but they will be in the playoffs. We know that for sure.
Yep. So over the next coming days, I would imagine that'll be pretty widely shared over the campus.
Yeah, can't wait. I'm very excited for the men's and women's games. Based on how the women are seeded right now, I'm not sure if they're going to have a home game in the playoffs this season, but hopefully if they're able to make a run, we can do a little bit of traveling and go support them. So
absolutely.
Excited. Very, very excited.
And that's going to do it for our recaps this week. We were excited that we're going to be joined this week by athletic director and men's basketball coach, Coach D.P. Harris. Here's that interview now.
And now we are joined by head coach of our men's basketball program and their brand new athletic director, D.P. Harris. Thanks so much for coming on.
It's good to be here. I'm excited about Inside the Den. All right.
It's a sick name for a podcast.
Yeah.
So, Coach, I want to ask first, what do you think has been the biggest driver of the team's success this year? It was a little bit of a slower start, but you guys have rattled off a few wins over the last few weeks. So what's been the biggest driver of that success, you think?
I think it's just Ossian Jones and his leadership and kind of the culture of the team. I mean, we got some really cool guys on our team. Mm-hmm. The campus seems to rally behind them, and we kind of want to have that kind of culture where it's fun.
Yeah, 100%. You mentioned the culture, and we'll talk a little bit about that. The games in the Carey Center, unlike any other PAC arena that we have here in Pennsylvania. Can you talk a little bit about that home court atmosphere?
Well, I know we've won 90% of the games since I've been a head coach at St. Vincent at home, which is really cool. It's probably one of the highest winning percentages across college basketball.
Yeah.
And it's awesome here. It's a tough place to play. Whether it's T-shirt night or car giveaway night or let's give away a pair of shoes. Yeah. But I think one of the things you have to understand is you got to make it fun for the people to come out. You know what I mean? We're just a small little, it's Latrobe. Like, there's not a lot to do. When I was in Miami, there was a lot to do. So,
sure.
You had to fight for it, but there's also 7 million people that live there.
Right.
But I think people resonate with the kind of guys we have, and again, I mean, they're friends with everybody, and sometimes you might be on a college campus where maybe, student athletes think that, they're a little bit better than the other students, this and that, but I think our guys really mesh well, and, I think we have a coaching staff that humbles our guys a lot, and we know our students. I mean, one of the things when I became the athletic director, I wanted to know each one of our student athletes by name, or definitely that if I know you play on the softball team or the baseball team,
sure.
And that's important, especially of who we are at St. Vincent.
Yeah, I think that's important, especially in a place that prides itself on the small community aspect of the school. In the classroom, that's important. Teachers are always wanting to learn their students' names. Why not to be the same thing with the athletics department?
100%.
So what are you looking for the biggest improvement to be come the end of the season and playoffs? Like there's not a ton. You guys are playing really well, but I feel like there's always something to improve upon. So what's the biggest thing for you guys as a coaching staff?
Well, I think be healthy, right? I mean, we're going to rest Ossian Jones tonight. We play Bethany. Just get our guys and limit the time that they're going to have to play. If we win tonight, we wrapped up the bye and we'll be here next Thursday night. That's if we win. I mean, we got beat by Westminster last week. So anything can happen. It's college basketball. But I think our guys are pretty locked in. I also think that when you get towards the end of the season, you have to understand that guys you got to keep them in the moment, that they can't look too far ahead. And by nature, I think we're all that way. We do it as coaches. Hey, let's just get to the AC playoffs.
Sure.
Let's get to the NCAA tournament. We do it around here. Let's get to graduation. Let's get to Steeler training camp. It's part of our nature, but just keeping the guys in the moment and letting them enjoy this time.
Since becoming the athletic director here, you've done some pretty cool stuff. Do you have any plans in the near future for what you want to do with the program?
Everything that our student athletes want. And And I really mean that, because people at this school have to understand that if it wasn't for the students, and I mean all of the students, and whether you're a professor, whether you're the president of the college, or you're a coach, or you're a janitor here, if it wasn't for the students, we wouldn't have a job. And it's important that we serve those students, and my job is to serve all the student athletes. And I really believe that. I also think that we're in an era where the students need to be heard, and I loved our town hall. I can't fix everything overnight, but we are really moving quickly. And, you know, we could go through all the fixes, you know, whether it's the media models and everything on the wall, or the branding, or, you know, getting the golf simulator that's going in, just the gear that the teams are starting to get, and we want more of that for them. But it really starts with the student athletes voicing their opinion. Even I want them to be pushy, because they only get 4 years here, and we need that, you know, to be a good experience for them, so they become an alum and they want to see the next 4 years be better for the new people coming in.
Is that is making it known that the athletes heard here something that you've heard from any people who have transferred in? Have they talked about the difference that they feel like they're more listened to here as opposed to some of the other programs that they might have played in?
Not really. I mean, some of our guys, they played at pretty, you know, good schools. I think Gail's got his eyes open going out to Wichita, and you know, sometimes the grass looks greener and then you walk on it. Thank God he came back. But you know, I think we have a good situation here at St. Vincent, but I also think that a lot of other schools have a good situation. And our student athletes go to the other schools and they see what the other schools are doing, and they come back and say, hey, why don't we have this? Why is Westminster doing this? Or why is W&J? Or why is Colby Bates, you know, Carnegie Mellon? You know, why are they doing all this? Maybe we can do it. We can't do everything, but we can do some things. And the support that Father Paul and Dr. Mallory have given me and the rest of the community has been outstanding.
It's awesome. This is more of a personal question.
Yeah.
You have some pretty cool coaching moments throughout your history as a head coach. You've been to some tourneys, 400 wins. Do you have a favorite moment that stands out to you?
You know, I don't know if I really have any favorite moments. I think some of the great moments are when our former players come back. Like Dylan Stith is here right now. I wish you guys would get him on the podcast. He's a pro playing in Australia. It's Dr. Mallory's brother. We're going to honor him in the Hall of Fame this Saturday. But, you know, there's a lot of cool moments. I mean, God blessed me with being able to have great players, but being around great people. But all the moments aren't, you know, some of them are those moments where you get to help the players off the court, whether it's law school or guys getting that next job. You know, this is just a small part of the winning and everything. I think one of the most cool things I get to do is when I see you guys out at the golf course at Latrobe Country Club, right? And it's cool to see you guys there. And, you know, I'll be over on number 6 and you guys might be on number 3, and I see the green and gold bag sitting there and I'm like, this place is awesome. And I think sometimes we need to, that would be a great moment, right? Yeah. Having our kids playing golf at the spot where Arnie, it's hollow ground, you know, and I've had my golf tournament there for 25 years, and Arnie helped me start it, him and Dodo Canturner. So there's a lot of special moments here for me, but my goal for the rest of my time here is to make it more about our students and less about me, and I think that's really important because you guys deserve it.
So my final question for you is, what do you want some possible recruits to know about the program that's built a fairly big name around here, and you guys have some players from literally all over the world.
Yeah.
So what would you want some guys who maybe have a goal to play here to know about the program that you guys run, and the athletics department as a whole, for that matter?
That you can go anywhere from here, and that whatever we can do to help you, we'll help you. You don't come here to be a pro. You come here to set up the next 40 years of your life. And if you're a student athlete, whether it's getting an internship at Steeler training camp, or you are not at a place that's so big that you don't get to know the athletic director, you don't get to know the assistant athletic directors, the work that Sue Hozak and Jimmy Petroska and everybody does, and Nicole, Dom, Nana, I mean, these are hands-on people. So you get an opportunity to really see an up-close and personal manner of an athletic department. From a basketball standpoint, we want to advance in the NCAA tournament. And before I'm done, I would like us to do that. And I think, it looks like we're going to win 20 games again this year. When I came back, they told me that it was going to be a 5-year turnaround. I don't believe in that. It's like when I went to Miami, we won 23 the first year I was there. I think every year is different, and I think that you can win immediately, and I think we can do that in all of our sports. I'm excited to see what happens in football. I like Casey Golf and the staff he's putting together, so I think there's a lot of good things going on there too.
Yeah, we had him on a day or two after he got hired. Yeah, we had him on for an interview.
He got some energy.
He does, and he was very firm in what he wanted to do with the program, and he was very respectful about it. Though I definitely think that there's gonna be a big improvement this year with the team.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he was good.
You have any more questions, Andrew?
No.
I'm good. Thank you so
Man,
much.
this is cool. Inside the Den. I love it, man.
We love it too.
Thank you. I'll come back anytime, any place, whatever I can do. I love it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
All right.
we had Dev on early season. He gave us a little preseason what's to come. It was pretty awesome.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it was fun. So we're happy
All
you
right.
could close out the season with us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks.
And thanks once again to head coach DP Harris for coming on, giving us a little bit of his time here today. I know he's a busy man, runs all the athletics, and he's got a playoff team to coach, so we appreciate his time.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how he does it. I want to touch on a few of his answers about the department as a whole, because he's seemingly focused on that with some of his answers. I'm not a current student athlete, but as a former one, I can appreciate some of his answers, specifically about the students. And he mentioned something about how it's important that students should be listened to, and that staff work to at least meet the requests of the students. Not everything's possible, but like he mentioned, none of the people here would have a job if it were not for the students that were here. So I think his heart and mind are definitely in the right place when he's looking at trying to improve the lives of the students within reason, obviously, like he said.
Yeah,
but
100%. I mean, just like him in general, just pointing out things that he's done. I mean, he's brought the atmosphere of the Carey Center that no other school around here really has. I mean, obviously we're fortunate enough to have funds to be able to give away free food and have fun giveaways and cars and thousands of dollars. I mean, it's hard to beat that, honestly, especially at a small school like this. I mean, he's really putting forth his best work.
Yeah, seriously, you win cars at NBA games.
Yeah,
That's the kind of life that he's certainly brought to to this place.
It's so fun. I mean, being able to be in the booth every week is just such a fun experience, especially with the crowd behind you. There's really nothing like it, and that's big thanks to DP.
Yeah, and that doesn't come out of thin air, like we just said. He you got to put in the work for that. He mentioned, I forget exactly how he phrased it, but he touched a little bit on almost the entertainment factor of a basketball game. Like he said, he wants to have a team that people want to come watch beyond students here. I think they're generally looking for people in the town of Latrobe and maybe even Greensburg to come down and watch St. Vincent basketball. They want an audience beyond the student body here, and they put together a pretty good product for all of us to watch.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, obviously high school games aren't pulling really anyone outside of friends and family, but colleges more so do. And I mean, St. Vincent is probably one of the few Division III programs, at least around here, that pulls outside sources for fan engagement. I mean, you have people coming from decently far away to come watch this team, guys and girls. They're both stacked with talent. So there's no reason why other sports shouldn't be getting the same recognition.
I'm definitely excited to see this team's playoff run this year. I think they've all got a little bit of a chip on their shoulders
from last season.
DP himself, all the guys as well, and a couple of the guys are done after this year. Osceon Jones is one. there might be one or two other seniors that are going to be gone. But
I'm not quite sure if Mike is leaving yet. I know he still has some COVID stuff to work out. I'm not sure how that appeal is going, but we could see him in a different uniform next season. But other than those two, I think the team is going to remain pretty much intact.
Yeah, so a couple important guys might be moving on, but
yeah, definitely.
I think this group wants to win it now.
Yeah.
At least win the pack, and I know they definitely got their goals set on a tournament run.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool for these guys to go on a run like that. I forget. There's banners up in the Carey Center of the last time they made it to the Sweet 16 at some point. It was quite a number of years ago now. The exact year is escaping me at the moment, but it'd be pretty cool to watch that.
It would be.
So, best of luck to these guys.
100%.
I don't have anything else, Colt.
Yeah, I don't have much else. Good luck to all our teams in the playoffs. I know swimming's at PAX right now. Men's and women's basketball are heading to playoffs next week. Am I forgetting anyone? Any other teams? I don't think so.
We got a couple wrestlers will be going. They'll be going next week. They're doing their regional stuff.
Okay.
The wrestlers who won their weight class.
Okay. So best of luck to all our playoff-bound athletes, and best of luck to the new seasons of athletes starting soon. So we'll be reporting on them starting next week. I guess we got some lacrosse and tennis to do. So
we'll have a couple new sports to talk about. The lacrosse next week. And then that'll be our last episode before spring break. And then once we come back, the rest of the spring sports will be in full swing.
Yes.
Baseball and softball, I know, will be. Will have already played games. They're starting over spring break. I guess that's. Am I missing any spring sports? So.
Men's volleyball played a couple games already, but they're pretty much already in the swing of things. So.
Yeah. So just though, we'll be reporting on baseball and softball come after spring break.
Yeah.
So be sure to check those episodes out. See you next week.
Hey there, listeners. I'm Matt Boyer, station manager of WSVC Radio. If you like what you're listening to, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button to be notified with all of our updates. Every day, one of our shows will be releasing a new episode. Stick around and tune in.